objectives of Upsilon Theta Pi are to bring together women who have demonstrated excellence in scholarship and who pledge to work individually and collectively to foster and nurture ethical and socially responsible leadership, cultivate understanding and appreciation of their own culture and respect for the cultures of others, enrich communities through service, transform their lives and the lives of others. Upsilon, excellence through commitment. Now, some may think and say, commitment, what is commitment? Commitment is something that one have to hold within, one have to hold onto. When I was doing a little reading of my own, I went back and I looked at Medgar Wiley Evers. In 1946, Medgar Wiley Evers and his brother went to vote. Although they weren't able to vote, the commitment that they have, they went back the next year and was able to vote. Commitment is something you cannot give up. You have to finish what you have started. You will have days when you feel that it's too much and you want to say this is it. But the commitment within you should make you want to progress, to continue forward, knowing that it's not just that moment when you're disappointed or feeling down, but it's the bigger picture that you have not seen as yet. And that should let you go forward. As I look at theta, which means confidence through faith, that confidence is why you stand here today. This is this confidence that will make you go far. Not everything in life as you go forward will be how you want it to be. Not every day you'll get up with a smile on your face. But nevertheless, the confidence that you have knowing who you are should make you always go forward. Always look within and see, this is who I am. I have attained. There must be something within me that has caused me to get to this point. And let that push you forward and never give up. Now, my last thing I'll hit on is PI, which means success through perseverance. Success comes in many ways. Not all the times we realize or recognize success when it comes. And another thing I like to point out, sometimes we have failures, but many successes have stood on failures. Many successes in life have stood on the failures that have come before it. Never forget that. So though you may sometimes stumble in your path, always get up, knowing that success lies at the end. You may not see it right now, but it lies at the end. And I'll just reflect back on a motto, my high school motto, which says, only the best is good enough. You can only give your best, and that's all is expected of you. No one expects you to do more than what you can do. So do your best in life and know that it will definitely be good enough. And as Medgar Evers College motto says, creating success one student at a time. And look, many students stand before me. So that motto is one student at a time going on. And with this, I'd just like to say, never give up, press forward. The best is yet to come.
I stand before you here today as a graduating senior and a proud student of the excellent and transformative education that I have received here at Medgar Evers College. I also stand here a proud member of all of the women's formations at Medgar Evers College, as well as the president of the Psychology Club. These organizations, exemplary models of sisterhood, service, and scholarship, demonstrate the power of women to be change agents in the world. Sisters, your presence here and your accomplishments are clear indicators that we are partners in the type of personal development and enrichment that will enable us and does enable us to lead and serve others effectively. Let us continue with a renewed sense of commitment to ourselves, our families, and the world. Thank you and congratulations.
There's nothing that gives me greater joy than to be around women, powerful women, women who do not lose sight of the work and the tasks that we have ahead of us. These are times that really require each one of us to step up, and you have already stepped up. Because one of the things that's really key to us is about scholarship. There are a lot of leaders out there, or there are a lot of self-proclaimed leaders, but it's people who develop themselves, who are committed to their own growth and development, and then who want to share that with others. Those are the leaders. So I congratulate each and every one of you in this room, those of you who helped contribute to the leadership and provided the scholarship, and those of you who embraced it and moved forward. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and thank you for letting me share this with you. So as Secretary of State, I have a lot of responsibilities. You know, I help companies and individuals get licensed. I'm responsible for the water of this state, and there's a lot of water around this state, and all the coastal resources. I'm responsible for fire and safety, and I'm also responsible for helping build plants and having some conservation efforts from Greenpoint in Brooklyn all the way to Syracuse and Buffalo. But that's not what distinguishes me as Secretary of State. I am a mere young woman from East Harlem who had a dream, whose mother and grandmother had a dream for her, and who said, there is nothing going to be given to you. Everything that you have, you're going to have to earn. And also, as we've earned it and we make the path for you, you have to make that path wider for others. And so I embraced that. Were there days when I didn't want to do that? I really wish I was born with a silver spoon. I thought, God, it must be easier than this way. But there would be nothing that I would do to trade one moment of my life, because all of those lessons that learned led me to the point where I am today, where I am Secretary of State and I could make a difference in this state. When we came here to make history, this was not exactly the kind of history we thought we were going to make. So, but yet in all of that, that is what leadership is about. It's about stepping outside of your own comfort zone, seeing what needs to be done, doing it with integrity, never forgetting who you are and where you came from, and always remembering that everything and every action you take has not only a consequence for you and your family, but for your community at large. And many of us, too many people in leadership, forget that. Some people interpret leadership just by the position that they have. That position gives you nothing but a title. Leadership comes when you embrace integrity, when you do not go with what's popular, but when you stand tall and take on some tough decisions, look people in the eye, try to educate them, and when you can't educate them, you make them move out of your way. And some people think that leadership today is spewing fear, concocting enemies that don't exist, and making things appear that they weren't. And also, some leadership today, which is why I'm so proud of you, because you are scholars, is some leaders today are so uninformed and misguided. They do not even know the basis of this Constitution and all of the amendments that followed this Constitution, and try to enact laws like they just did in Arizona that have absolutely no place in this country. But we're at a quandary. We really are at a dilemma. We've lost some great leaders in just the last few months. I have to just tell you something. The thing that, if nothing else, I want you to leave with today, it's about integrity. And it's about knowing what social justice is. So that there's some people who say that they believe in social justice. Well, some people believe in issues. And I just want you to know that a true leader can distinguish and see not only short-term implications, but long-term implications of an issue, right? So that when you start looking at issues, so that you may be a strong person on gender issues, but if you allow someone to make an anti-gay comment around you, you've just put a kink in your leadership armor. If you let someone make an anti-immigration comment around you, you've just put a kink in your leadership armor. This is about social injustice. It is only a matter of time before those winds of hatred start infiltrating other areas. So it's about gender issues. It's about sexual preference issues. It's about language and immigration issues. It's about color issues. It is about age issues. Every one of those have to be abhorrent and intolerant to every good leader. And never you forget that. And we may have more passion for one than the other, but you cannot stand silent when you see the other. You must raise your voice for that one too, because it's just a matter of time. President Obama has brought on, like locusts came on the minute he became president, just like with David Paterson. It was a swarm. The economy took a tank, way, way worse than anything we experienced in 1929. He had two unprovoked wars, so he's fighting all over the place in this globe. And then he has health reform and health costs that are just escalating. And the thing that I must say is because of who he is, not the office of president, he's just using that platform, but who he is someone that stands firm and takes them each one by one and does not mind seeing his opponent, looking his opponent in his eye and challenging him, saying, bring it on. Give me an alternative. I will listen, because a true leader listens. What we've seen today is leaders who shout and try to do what's popular and not listen, and not use scholarship, and not care about consequences, only about short-term gain. And the same thing has happened with this president, and he has given his word, and he has followed through on each one of those. Many people, I'll have to tell you, years and years, Kennedy lived and died and never saw health reform. Obama transformed this country's health system, and that's just the beginning. And with that, I'm going to also tell you, just remember that David Paterson brought the reform of the Rockefeller laws, really horrible laws that affected our communities for the last 27 years. And that was done by strong leadership. Many, many governors were given the opportunity. David Paterson made it possible. It is that kind of leadership that we need. We need leadership who listens, leadership who is informed, leadership who is bold, but leadership who sees and has integrity, where your word is your bond. So I'm looking forward, and I also need women leaders. We have so few women in elected or appointed office in this country that it is almost shameful. When you start thinking that Latin America has had 3 female presidents, and in the United States we could barely get female senators, that is disgraceful. So I'm looking forward to having many of you join me in public service, because that's important. Because I need people in the future who can pick up the baton, who can be like Dorothy Height, who can be like the Percy Suttons, who can leave those legacies, who can think beyond themselves. So I'm looking forward to voting for one of you as mayor, someone who is not going to forget the promises that they made during campaigns. I'm looking for one of you to be appointed Secretary of State of the United States. That's the better job. And Secretary of State of the state is not bad either. But it is about making your distinction, but making a distinction that affects more than you. It is not about a limelight. It is about a floodlight. It is about making sure that as you shine, many others shine too. The needs are not going to be shortened. The needs are great. The economy is not going to turn around, not for our community, not right away. So it's just about the strength of our conviction and our commitment that will make our community grow and flourish in the future. So may God bless you. Congratulations. And thank you for everything that you've done so far.